Contrast is the essence of storytelling, the core of debate, and the spice of dialogue. It helps us highlight differences, compare alternatives, and understand choices. In everyday conversations, using expressions to show contrast can help us in putting forth persuasive arguments in our discussions. It can engage the listener well and keep them hooked to conversation. Today, we are going to learn idioms that help you in expressing contrast. Hey, I am Mandeep and I welcome you to my channel Fluency Goals, where I love to create educational videos on English language enhancement, business communication, and grammar lessons for the language enthusiasts. If you are someone who wishes to enhance your communication skills and take it to the next level, then do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out my shorts channel where I provide bite-sized learning videos for quick and on-the-go language enhancement. So let's begin our today's lesson, shall we? Apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. This is a very common idiom. You must have heard it a number of times. It is used to express that the two things that we are comparing are fundamentally different and they shouldn't be compared. So they have nothing in common, and the comparison between these two things is futile. Comparing the performance of a basketball player to that of a soccer player is like comparing apples and oranges. Discussing poetry and scientific paper together is like comparing apples and oranges. They are just not the same. To be at loggerheads. To be at loggerheads. To be at loggerheads with someone means that you are in strong disagreement and dispute with someone. It's like when two friends can't agree on which movie to watch and they just keep arguing about it. They are at loggerheads because they have very different opinions. So use this idiom when two people can't agree on the same thing. The two politicians have been at loggerheads over the new environmental policy. The board members are at loggerheads about the direction of company's future. Go against the grain. Go against the grain. To go against the grain means to act contrary to what's normal or accepted. So when you choose a different path and that is not normally accepted, then you are going against the grain. She always goes against the grain, preferring to do things her own unique way. Choosing to travel by train in the age of flights certainly goes against the grain. On the flip side, when someone mentions on the flip side in conversation, they mean to tell you that you need to look at the situation from a different perspective. So there is another aspect of a situation that you need to consider. So it's a way of saying that you need to consider pros and cons or different aspects of something. The job is really tough, but on the flip side, it pays really well. He's not the most organized person, but on the flip side, his creativity is unmatched. A far cry from. A far cry from. A far cry from means something is very different from something else. It's when you are expecting one thing and you get something totally different. For example, you were expecting a big birthday party but only got a small dinner. You could say the dinner was a far cry from the celebration you imagined. This tiny apartment is a far cry from the spacious house we used to live in. Chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese. When you want to convey the idea that the two things are completely different from each other, you can use this idiom, chalk and cheese. My sister and I are like chalk and cheese. She loves adventure and I prefer staying home. As far as their political views go, they are chalk and cheese. Oil and water. Oil and water. So like the two elements, oil and water, they do not mix well with each other. Similarly, you can use this idiom to convey the idea that the two people They do not mix well with each other. Their personalities, their ideas, they do not mix well with each other. The two lead actors are like oil and water. They just can't seem to get along. Her minimalist style and his love for clutter are like oil and water. So that was all about today's lesson on idioms to show contrast. If you like this lesson, then please subscribe to my channel, give a like to this video. Your one like and one subscribe can create a huge impact on my channel. And please don't forget to share it with your friends if you feel that they can benefit from it. I'll see you next week with another lesson. Till then, happy learning.